Welcome back to English from A to Z, English in real life. You know that moment, right? You're trying to tell a friend about someone you just met and your brain just freezes? You end up with something like, he's kind of tall or she's got hair. It's so frustrating when you can see the person perfectly in your mind, but you just don't have the right words to describe them. Well, today we're going to change all that. So let me ask you, just take a second and think about it. When you have to describe someone, what are the first words that jump into your head? What's your usual go-to vocabulary? If you find yourself always reaching for words like tall, short, or thin, hey, you're definitely not alone. I mean, they get the job done, but they don't exactly paint a masterpiece, do they? They're really just the starting point, not the whole story. And this is the upgrade we're talking about today. Just look at the difference. We're moving from a really direct word like fat to something more descriptive and honestly a lot more polite like large build. Or instead of just straight hair, we can say wavy hair. It's about leveling up our language so we can describe people with more confidence, more detail, and a little more thought. Okay, let's dive right in. First up, we're going to move past those basic height and weight words and talk about something a little more nuanced, a person's build. To make this super clear, let's meet our first guy, Paul. We've got a few key details about him here. He has a slim build, black hair with something called a receding hairline, he wears glasses, and he's got a mustache. We're going to break all of that down. So what do we actually mean by slim build? Well, it's a really good, neutral way to say someone is thinner than average. It feels a little more specific than just thin, and it gives you a sense of their overall frame without any kind of judgment attached to it. Now, to really get this, let's bring two more people into the picture, Sean and Tommy. Immediately, our vocabulary is growing. Sean is described as having a medium build, so, average, while Tommy has a large build. And this brings us to a super important point about social awareness. Words like fat can come across as pretty blunt, sometimes even hurtful. So using a phrase like, he has a large build, or even, he's on the larger side, isn't just about being more descriptive. It's also about being more polite. It's about communicating with both clarity and respect, which is a huge skill. So let's just quickly recap with this chart. You've got Paul with his slim build, Sean with a medium or average build, and Tommy with a large build. See? Three totally different guys, each with a description that's precise and respectful. All right, we've totally got build down, so what's next? Hair. Oh, there is a whole world of words here that goes way beyond just the color, and it's one of the best ways to add amazing detail. Let's circle back to Paul for a second. We heard he has a receding hairline. Now, this is such a fantastic phrase because it doesn't just say he's losing hair. It tells you exactly how and where. It's at the front, with the hairline slowly moving up his forehead. So specific. Okay, time to meet a few more people. Let's welcome Rose, Jill, and Wendy. I want you to pay close attention to the words used for their hair here: wavy, straight, and curly. These are our key textures. Let's look at those one by one. First up is wavy hair, which Rose has. I love this explanation. The hair has these soft, gentle curves, kind of like little waves in the water. It's that perfect in-between, not totally straight, but not super curly either. And here are the other two big ones. You've got straight hair, like Jill's, which is exactly what it sounds like. It doesn't really bend or curve. And then you have curly hair, like Wendy's, which forms these awesome little circles or spirals, almost like a spring. This table just lays it all out so perfectly. Jill has straight black hair, Rose has wavy brown hair, and Wendy has curly blonde hair. You see how combining the texture with the color immediately gives you a much clearer picture of each person? It's way more powerful. Okay, so we've nailed down build and we've talked all about hair. Now let's zoom in even closer and talk about the face, because there are so many details there we can use. Facial hair is another great layer of detail. Let's look at our guys again. Paul has a mustache, that's the hair above the lip. Tommy has a beard, which is hair on the lower part of his face. And then there's Sean, who is clean shaven, which just means no facial hair at all. Simple, right? What about other things on the face? Remember Wendy? She was described as having freckles. You know, those small spots that often show up after being in the sun? It's such a charming and specific detail you can add to a description. And then there's a birthmark. This is just a little spot or mark on the skin that someone's had since they were born. Rose has one on her face, but Wendy has one on her arm, which is a great reminder that these can be anywhere on the body, not just the face. And of course, don't forget accessories. It's such a simple but powerful thing to notice. Both Paul and Wendy wear glasses. You can also call them eyeglasses, by the way. Just pointing something like that out makes your description instantly more accurate. Okay, so we've gone through build, we've gone through hair, and we've talked about facial features. Now for the really fun part. Let's put all of these new words into action and see how they create a complete, really detailed picture of someone. And here it is. Just look at the final profiles for Jill and Wendy, right next to each other. We've gone so far beyond just one or two basic words. Now we have this rich, complex description that covers everything from their build and hair to their unique facial features. The picture in your head is probably crystal clear now, isn't it? And really, that's what this is all about. Using better, more specific words isn't about trying to sound smart. It's about being a better communicator. It's about painting a clearer, more accurate, and just more memorable picture in the mind of the person you're talking to. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. When we take the time to choose our words carefully, to be more detailed, more nuanced, more polite, what does that language really say about how we see and value other people? It's definitely something worth considering.